I'm Rick Doherty. Welcome to vlog number 13 of my pilgrimage in Ireland. We picked things up right outside of Dublin on my last day on the National Famine Way. So I just want to take a second to just show you, I don't know if it's coming out as much on video, but it was even worse a few meters back here. The trail has gotten bumpier, a lot more rocks and stones. There are more branches, not branches, but roots that are crossing the path, and the unevenness of this surface after having pretty even surfaces the last few days. I'd say few days, but not entirely through those, but right now it is starting to play a little bit of a trick on my knees again. So now it looks like it's leveling out to more normal trail, but that was not what I expected. I was thinking that as we got closer and closer to the city, a lot of these trails would be even more like city streets. They might even be paved or something like that, but turns out that that part of the stretch right there was no joke. We definitely had some rough terrain, not rough terrain, like it wasn't like the Ireland Way or anything, but every step created some soreness. Now we're coming up to a street. So we'll continue. I want to be safe crossing the road here. As I continue the other goal of trying to raise awareness of domestic violence, I just wanted to read some more statistics while I walked here. We're getting closer and closer to being in Dublin proper, and obviously these are not going to be the cheeriest statistics, but we're doing this to raise awareness. We're doing this to try to put some good into this world. So that's not always the cheeriest thing when you have to talk about some tough stuff to be positive sometimes. So a study of intimate partner homicides found that 20% of victims were not the intimate partners themselves, but family members, friends, neighbors, persons who intervened, law enforcement responders, or bystanders. So that means that sometimes it can be dangerous to step in to a situation, and it can be hard. The best thing when trying to deal with knowing somebody is being abused is to first go to an organization, talk with an organization that deals with these things, talk to law enforcement. I would never recommend trying to do things yourself because, as those statistics show, it can be just as dangerous for the Good Samaritan as the survivor or the victim in that particular case. 72% of all murder-suicides involve an intimate partner. 94% of the victims of these murder-suicides are female. So that shows that that is a huge, huge problem, and we just have so much further to go here. Children and domestic violence. 1 in 15 children are exposed to intimate partner violence each year, and 90% of these children are eyewitnesses to the violence. And I would have to imagine that that is underestimating, because I think there are a lot of kids who are really, really strong and don't, and they internalize this stuff and they don't bring it up, and we don't always know that kids are seeing it, but kids are seeing it. They're more perceptive than we think sometimes. Victims of intimate partner violence lose a total of 8 million days of paid work each year. One of the things that I think is really, really, really underappreciated is the impact domestic violence has on people and their jobs, being able to keep jobs, being able to get jobs. Just anecdotally, when you're told you're stupid, when you're told that you're not worth anything, when you're told that you are just basically garbage, and you're told that every day, it can be hard to go into a job interview and brag about yourself and talk about your good qualities. You don't know that you have them because you've been told for so long that you don't. Women abused by their intimate partners are more vulnerable to contracting HIV or other STDs or STIs, due to forced intercourse or prolonged exposure to stress. Obviously, infidelity, cheating is also another tool of abusers, so that would probably add to that as well. Studies suggest that there is a relationship between intimate partner violence and depression and suicidal behavior. I think we've kind of touched on that before as well, and it really makes sense. Like, it's hard to deal with these things. Even people who have, I've been quote unquote healing for over 20 years, so maybe I'm in a pretty good place, but it wasn't always the case. Like, definitely it can be hard, and you can just understand how those types of things can happen. Somebody's coming the other way on the trail, so I thought I would just show you a little bit of the canal while they pass. Hello.
Hello there.
And I'm just going to continue with a few more statistics. Physical, mental, and sexual and reproductive health effects have been linked with intimate partner violence, including adolescent pregnancy, unintended pregnancy in general, miscarriage, stillbirth, and there's just a whole long list of health issues that are there. So it's really important, I feel, to get these issues out in the open, to find any way that we can to talk about them, to not only take the stigma around being a victim or being a survivor, because that's one thing, but to show that you're not alone. A lot of people are dealing with this. To let people know, even one of the things that is my goal in the community of trying to end abuse is letting people know that they're being abused. Sometimes people don't know that what they're experiencing is abuse. And they think, oh, he didn't hit me. Or, you know, he's nice most of the time. Or, like, they don't think of these types of actions as being abusive. And sometimes it takes telling somebody, like, you deserve to be treated better than that, and then it all just clicks for them. So that's why I wanted to do this so much, and I just want to find different ways to bring a spotlight on the fun stuff, bring a spotlight on Disney and Universal and hiking and Irish history and sports and all these other things that are really fun and are great outlets, and use them to just say, okay, let's take just a couple of minutes and talk about a serious topic, and let's help people. And that's what I've been trying to do here. And just taking a quick break, you got to see the trail while I told you all about those things. We can do big things by doing a lot of small things. So every pilgrimage I've ever done, whether it be just a local one over a couple days in Florida, or it's been this one, which has been days and days and days and days and days and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles, there comes a point in the stretch run where you really start to feel it. And right now, the one part of my foot is just burning, just absolutely on fire. I know I've got this, but I think I might have to take just a couple stops every once in a while to take a little bit of that pressure off of it and get through here, because wow. The heels are doing okay. It's closer to the front of the foot, where I just think that impact is really starting to wear on it. I did also get some Dr. Scholl's. The Dr. Scholl's cover like the back of my feet, so all the way back to the heel. So that might be a reason why the heel isn't that much of a problem, because it has that little bit of extra protection. But just another quick break, and then of course all day, I don't know if you can see off in the distance, there has been this storm, and I'm starting to worry about that as well. Anyway, the quicker I finish, the quicker I can get to the hotel, and the quicker I don't have to be doing this anymore. So, alright, I'm probably gonna just wrap up this quick little break. So this was actually a big thing for me, a big milestone. I was looking forward to getting inside the Beltway. I don't know if they call it the Beltway in Europe, but that is what we in the US would call the Beltway for Dublin. It wraps all the way around if you wanted to avoid driving through the city. And that means, honestly, for all intents and purposes, we're in Dublin. We are in the city proper. So kinda jealous of that cool skateboard riding, Tupac shirt wearing kid who just went past us. Seems like a pretty cool dude. So we've made it inside the big loop of roads around the city of Dublin. There is a sign to the city center on the road. I see it right now. This is saying I go this way. But I sort of feel like I might be going up this hill for no reason, because I think I might just end up coming down the other side of it. There's a storm. It's right in front of us. So I don't know what's going to go on with that. Yeah. I probably didn't have to go up and down this hill, but you live, you learn, I guess. So much of the National Famine Way goes along the Royal Canal Way. So I thought, I don't know much about this guy, but apparently he had a big part in restoring the Royal Canal. So, since it was so important to what I've done, I thought I'd pay tribute to him. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I am right by the Houston train station here in Dublin, which is the train station I used to get out to Cork and start the Ireland Way in Castletownbere. And then when I had to come back, it was where I had a job interview on my phone, actually, but it was also where I came back and then got a bus to go to Strokestown and the beginning of the National Famine Way. So it's kind of crazy to see that the Famine Way is literally right here. So I think I might have to be checking the app a lot more, because I'm gonna have to see exactly where I'm going, because I do not want to take any extra steps today. Here's some information on the Royal Canal. Rain, or at least a pretty steep drizzle. So they're not making it easy on me here. As you can see, some drops getting onto the camera here. I apologize for that, but I'm trying to make it here. It's calmed down here for a second as I get to lock 9, and these locks here, I have been seeing them since they were in the mid-40s. So I've been walking along 45, 37, 26. I can remember all of these different locks that I crossed. And now I'm at lock 9. So that just feels really, really good. I'm gonna have to clean off this camera lens before I finish, because I need some good video of me finishing this thing. So, alright. Hopefully it's not too much longer. So still a couple miles away from the finish, and I just wanted to read this to you. Here, as he walked by on the 16th of October, 1843, Sir William Rowan Hamilton, in a flash of genius, discovered the fundamental formula for quaternion multiplication. And then there is the formula written there. He cut it on a stone of this bridge. So that's just something cool that I never would have seen that if it wouldn't have been for traveling this trail. So I still have a few miles. I am in a lot of pain. Everything hurts, but the hotel called to just confirm that I am coming tonight, so I know at least I have a room. Anyway, let's keep going here. I definitely re-aggravated whatever I did when I was on the Ireland Way. Listen, I'm so close here that I'm obviously gonna finish. And I even had my camera blow off a post a little earlier, and I almost was afraid that I broke the camera, but it looks like it's working and doing everything it's supposed to be doing for me. But this is definitely the stretch run, because I don't know if you just tell yourself that you're almost done and your body just goes, okay, I only got a little bit more to go. And then once it realizes, like, there's still a lot to go. Like, it was still a lot to go today. And I think that you start to mentally get in that rest state. No matter how much you try to avoid it, you know you're almost done. You start thinking about being done, and you just get that mindset going, and your body doesn't fight as hard. When you know that you have 6 days left, your body kind of knows it just has to fight through, and it doesn't really see a light at the end of the tunnel. But when you start seeing that you're 3 miles from finishing, or you start seeing that, you know, things you know, or you're starting to see things you know, and knowing that you're getting close, it really does make it harder to keep going here. And I do have another pair of the shoes. I've been trying to get pictures of all of them that I see, because I should be able to get the certificate of completion, even though I didn't know about the passport. This trail has a passport, and I didn't find out about it until I was already 3 days into the hike. So I contacted the people who do it, and they said it shouldn't be a problem. I should still be able to get the passport, but I want to show them all the different spots along the trail so they know that I actually did it, that I'm not trying to get something I didn't earn. But this is the point where, whether it be a Florida pilgrimage or this pilgrimage, this is the point that I like to remember the scientific principle that energy can neither be created or destroyed.
It was at this point that the wind made it almost impossible to hear me. I like to remember that energy can neither be created or destroyed, because all of the energy that is exerted on these pilgrimages goes out into the atmosphere. It is positive energy that has been harnessed, and now it is sending ripple effects out into the world. We're getting so close to the end of Ireland's National Famine Way, and we will reach it next Monday, October 31st, in the 14th and final vlog in the series. Please donate to CASA of Pinellas County, Florida at casapinellas.org/walkwithrick/. Until then, have a great week.